Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, Numerics with Nadia. Welcome to a new playlist. We are moving on to a playlist called Algebra and Functions. If you haven't watched the pre-algebra playlist, I would recommend watching that one before this one. In this lesson, we're going to do an introduction to algebraic equations. And what we're going to do in our lesson is, first, we're going to define what an algebraic equation even is. Once we do that, we're going to learn how to translate words into symbols. And then, as always, we're going to end our lesson with a bunch of practice problems to really solidify what we've learned. So to start off, we're going to define what an algebraic equation is. An algebraic equation is a mathematical sentence with numbers, an operational symbol, either adding, subtracting, multiplying, or dividing, and an equal sign. So an equation has an equal sign. That's really important. That's what differentiates an equation from an expression, is the equal sign. And an example of an algebraic equation is 3 times 2 equals 6, because this has numbers, an operational symbol, right, multiplication, as well as an equal sign. So this would be an algebraic equation. So now that we've defined what an algebraic equation is, we're going to go through this key, and we're going to learn how to translate these mathematical terms into symbols or numbers. So to start off with addition, some terms that we might be seeing would be something like sum, add, combine, increase, larger, plus, more, and so on. So when we see these terms, we can translate it to addition. Now we'll move on to subtraction. For subtraction, some terms that we might see are difference, subtract, minus, fewer, take away, or decrease. All of these terms should flag in our brain that the problem is talking about subtraction. So these problems are either going to be just direct translations, or they can pop up in word problems. So it's really good to get an understanding of these now. Now we'll move on to multiplication. Some key terms for multiplication are times, multiply, per, like if it says per gallon, per minute, product, twice, double, triple, and quadruple. And these last four, they translate to twice meaning times 2, double also meaning times 2, triple meaning times 3, and quadruple meaning times 4. Now we'll move on to our division terms. Some key terms for division are divide, quotient, split, half, third, and fourth. And again, these last three mean the same thing every time. To half something means to divide it by 2. To split something into thirds means to divide it by 3. And for fourths, it would be dividing it into 4 section. So this key is really, really important. I would pause the video here and take a screenshot or write it down in your notebook, because this will be so useful, as I said, in both translating for this type of video, right, terms into symbols and numbers, but also for word problems. So before we get into this practice section, I would really recommend to copy this key into your notebook. So now that we've looked up and defined our key and we know our buzzwords, let's get into our practice section for today. The directions say to write the equation using numbers to represent each situation. So we are giving the terms and we are going to write it in terms of numbers. For number 1, it says 11 decreased by 7. So decreased by is our buzzword. We know 11 is just 11. Decreased by means to subtract, and 7 just comes down, and we know that 11 minus 7 just gives us 4, right? So the answer for number 1 would be 4. Now for number 2, it says 6 less than 12. So in our last equation, it was very straightforward, right? 11 decreased by 7, but here the order is going to be flipped. So it's 6 less than 12. We have 12. That's going to go first. Less than means we're subtracting, and we're subtracting by 6. So this second one would translate to 12 minus 6, which we know is just 6. And the important note for these subtraction ones is that the order matters. So you guys need to be very, very careful here. So these first two highlight the importance of the order for subtraction. Now we'll get into number 3. For number 3, it says 2 more than 8. We know 2 would just be 2. 8 is just 8. More than is our buzzword here. More than means to add. And we know that 2 plus 8 just gives us 10. So 10 would be our answer for number 3. For number 4, we have 9 increased by 4. The 9 would just stay 9. The 4 just stays 4. Increased by is our key word. Increased by means to add. And we know that 9 plus 4 gives us 13. So 13 would be our answer for number 4. Now we'll move on to our 5th practice problem for today. Number 5 says the quotient of 15 and 3. So quotient here is our key word. The quotient of means to divide, and then 15 and 3 are just our numbers. So what we're going to do is we're going to do 15 divided by 3, and we know that 15 divided by 3 gives us 5. So 5 would be our answer for number 5. Now we'll move on to number 6. Number 6 says 9 divided by 3. And this one we'll just translate straight down. 9 is just 9, 3 is just 3. Divided by is our key word here. We know that just means to divide. So we have 9 divided by 3, and we know that that just gives us 3. So our answer for number 6 would be 3. Now for number 7, it says 1/4 of 16. So we have two options here. Option A, 1/4 of 16, what we can do is multiply 1/4 and 16 because of can equal multiplication. And when we do 1/4 times 16, we know that we can cross cancel the 16 and the 4, and we get 4. Option B here for the same problem, 1/4 of 16, 1/4 of can also mean to just divide by 4, and we have our 16, so if we do 16 divided by 4, we also get 4. So either of these ways work perfectly fine. It can depend in the situation which one you want to use, but I wanted to present this one so you guys can see the difference in the approach, but that we get the same answer. Let's keep working through some more practice problems. For number 8, we have the product of 5 and 7. So the product of means to multiply. That's our key word here. So we know we're multiplying. 5 and 7 are our numbers. So we'll just do 5 times 7, and we know 5 times 7 is 35. Now we'll move on to number 9. For number 9, it says 16 multiplied by 2. So we know 16 would just come down. Multiplied by means to multiply, and we're going to multiply by 2. We can do it on the side here if you guys don't remember. 16 times 2, 2 times 6 is 12. 2 times 1 is 2, plus that 1 gives us 3, so 32 is our answer for number 9. And now we'll move on to our last practice problem for today. Number 10 says double a number 11. So double means to multiply by 2, and then our number here is just 11. So we'll be doing 11 times 2, and 11 times 2 is 22. So 22 is our answer for number 10. All right, you guys, and that is it for today's lesson. Great work today. Thank you guys so much for watching. Feel free to like the video if you enjoyed it. Comment any other questions or video topics you would like to see down below. Subscribe if you haven't already. Share this video with a friend, and I will see you guys next time.